Welcome to the Slinkies podcast, hosted by me, Howie.
And me, Al.
Just a couple of mates who thought we were pretty funny in high school and needed an excuse to catch up now that we're old dads with busy schedules.
We catch up every week to discuss the good old days, as well as what's going on nowadays in our lives. So if you're into rehearsed intros that we never get right, then this is the podcast for you.
Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, 8 a.m. And remember, never try to fix your mate Slinky.
We're back. Episode 7.
Ooh.
Far out,
I think
mate.
we should...
I wonder if we should do seasons of this.
We're like The Simpsons. We just never die.
Never.
Do you reckon they'll have an episode of The Simpsons where they just die? That's the end?
Hopefully.
Yeah, just a real...
Well, remember on South Park where they killed off Kenny for real?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? They killed him off for a few seasons and then just brought him back. I'm going to kill you off for a few episodes and bring you back.
Thank God. I need a break. I think should we let people know that the reason the intro sounds different every week is we're trying to find which is our intro, and then we'll have an automated one set up. It'll be legit. But until then, you're just going to listen to us fucking it up every week.
Yeah. So as well as us trying to talk the intro, this will be the first episode with our new musical intro. We had a reach out from one of our dear listeners, Garth Prentice, and he created an intro for us. So before I was just using some royalty-free thing I just found, which I liked. I did like the little acoustic thing in, but I'm not sure how legally I was allowed to use that. But now we have our own intro and outro made by the very Garth Prentice. So shout outs to Garth. Check him out at garthprentice.com.au and Garth Prentice Music on Facebook and Instagram. And also he does take requests. So comment on there and post a request for him.
Attaboy Garth.
So shout out to Garth.
It helps having a real musician help us out. And what does that say for us, that a real musician has reached out to help us with our podcast? Like, are we taking off or what? He didn't comment on my what's my age again though. So from episode 1.
Oh yeah.
So he must have liked it if he kept listening. So
are you still playing guitar?
Yeah, I got better at it, but I'm not going to play it now. But I'm getting better.
No.
The fingers are starting to do what I want them to do.
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of guitar. I try and play every day. But sometimes I feel like you just go day after day after day and then you'd feel like you're not getting better.
Yeah.
But then, got to look back. Listen to an old recording. Maybe just listen to an old episode of the podcast.
Yeah. People weren't happy about it. But I hate when the fingers just start burning and like feel like they've got swimming caps on them. They just feel... It's like everything you touch, you don't feel like you're touching it because there's calluses on your fingers. Yeah. I hate that though. That's when I know I've played too much.
It does get better. Yeah, it gets better. So you got you got an acoustic guitar, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they're nylon strings as well, which are actually a bit easier on your fingers.
Great. Yeah.
So when you go to an electric guitar, you're like,
I had a dream, not last night, the night before, you gave me a bass.
Here we go. Dreampod.
Dreamcasters. You gave me a bass guitar to play, and I was trying to play a song, and you're like, you can't play that song on bass. And I'm like, well, why did you give me a bass guitar? And you're like, oh, I thought you'd like it. It was really real. Like I could picture all the, frets. Is that what they're called? And I could like hear myself playing it, and it sounded really bassy. And I'm like, this doesn't sound right. And you're like, yeah, that song's not on bass. I'm like, well, why'd you give it to me? This is the song I like to play. And it was one of the worst birthday gifts you've given me.
Even in your dreams, I'm a dick. I'm going to buy you a bass guitar for Christmas now.
It's like, I won't say no. I'll find something.
I'd love a bass guitar.
Yeah. Well, once I'm done playing with mine in my dreams, you can have it, I guess.
Link our dreams up. Linking Dreams podcast. How cool would that be?
That'd be really cool. That'd be cool. What else have you been up to?
Full on week, mate. Thank God we're still out of lockdown, but we're recording the podcast early today. Normally Howie and I record this a bit later in the day by the time my brain's woken up, so I haven't even had my morning energy drink yet. So we're a bit grumpy.
I am sculling my coffee as we go, so I can apologise for all the pauses in the podcast and Like, no. No one gets in between me and my coffee.
So we had to record a bit earlier today. My daughter has a tongue tie, which is that little thing that joins your tongue and the bottom of your mouth. I don't even know what it's called. It's a weird line, fleshy line, flesh line between your tongue and the bottom of your mouth. That's a bit tight on her mouth, so we're going to go to the doctor and cut that, and because she does have a bit of a lisp at the moment, and I'll feel horrible once she gets to school. And if kids make fun of her lisp, I don't think kids do that these days. No one cares these days. No one cares if you stutter or have a lisp. But back in our day, if you had a stutter or lisp, ooh.
Yeah. I can't wait till Papa Al turns up to school beating kids up that bully his daughters. Like, that'd be good.
What about you?
Cora can fight her own battles. Cora's, I think it's like a Norse or Netherlands or something like that word for like lady warrior or something of the ocean or something along that. I can't remember exactly what it was. So yeah, she can fight her own battles.
Nice. We'll see how you feel when she comes home and says, "What's she gonna call you, Daddy?"
Huh? Dillo probably.
What? Dillo? How weird would that be?
Pretty weird. Yeah, no. Look, I'm sure I'll have a different opinion, but for now, she's a strong, independent baby. She can throw her own rattle. Yeah, what a week! What a week!
So you're still in lockdown?
We're still in lockdown. I think it'll be a while yet. I think it's one of those things.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those things like with your kids when you want them to do something and you know they're going to lose their shit. You're just like, oh, just one more time. Oh, look, maybe just 10 more minutes. I think it's like, all right, one more week. And then it'll be, oh, come on, just one more week. Promise this is the last week. Yeah. Oh, just one more week. I think it's going to be like that. And yeah, I guess it's probably not, with things a bit out of control, a couple of hours away from us. I think it's, probably not a bad idea as much as it sucks for business and lifestyle and stuff like that. There's definitely some positives, like get to see some sunsets, get to spend time with the family, get to work from home a little bit. There's some goods and bads.
Yeah. And are people better this lockdown? Like, have they got it down pat, or are they still going stupid?
No, people are losing their shit in town. Like, that's the local Facebook page is just on fire at the moment with all the questions. It's like, is JB Hi-Fi open? Like, the time you logged into Facebook, the time that you found the group, the time that you then wrote into the group, and then the time that you read the comments, you could have just went, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Google, is JB Hi-Fi open today?" Oh, Siri's firing up here now. Get the shits. Yeah, and it blows me away. And if the details aren't on Google, call them. You know?
Yeah.
Call them.
Yeah, of course. Why would somebody be more knowledgeable on Facebook than the actual shop itself?
And why do they get 300 comments? And then, of if this place is open, it only takes one comment. Like, why is there 300 people commenting whether it's open or not? Like, surely someone's got to the bottom of it by the third answer.
God, I love those Facebook groups. The local Facebook groups for your local town or suburb. The local suburb one we have is just a gold mine of boomer comments and just people. So many people dob in other people on there. They're like, a wheelie bin's flipped over and they're like, "Oh, thumbs down to 62 Croydon Street in Warradara because their wheelie bin's tipped over and it's been tipped over for 3 hours and no one's picked it up." And then 7 people. There's always that duality of people. They're either for them or they want to hack and destroy their life. They're either like, "I agree, wheelie bins should be placed upward, not sideways." And then the next comment's like, "What the fuck's your problem, Karen? Focus on your own bins." And then it just spirals out of control from there.
And all these people knocking Karen's bin over. It just goes to town, doesn't it? There's always that same two sides.
Yeah. No one's ever just like, okay, you're either want to kill this person or hug them. Like, there's just no in between. It's like the old the classified ads on the, what was that? Thumbs down, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down page.
Do you remember that? Yeah, in the newspaper, it's like thumbs up to the person I seen picking up a rubbish on the sidewalk last Tuesday, and then it's like thumbs down to the council, thumbs down to the councillors for bringing in this socialist bullshit. And it's like the thumbs up is always like so meaningless, but the thumbs down is like a paragraph long. People are just pissed off.
It used to bother me that people wrote into the news to put a thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, what an incredible waste of time. But I think I actually prefer that than the existing page, because now they've made it too easy for people to complain. Which, like, they've made it, they've made it easy for people to give praise as well, and that's something I guess we need to focus on. But they've made it too easy for people to have a whinge.
But no one does it. I was looking at IMDb reviews last night of the new Rick and Morty season, because the last 2 episodes are delayed. Bring out Rick and Morty. # free Rick and Morty. And the most downvoted episode from this season, it wasn't the best episode, but it wasn't bad. But it had the most number of reviews. And I was thinking like, yeah. And then I looked at the top rated one and it didn't have as many reviews, because people are more likely to leave a bad review. Like, if you watch something and it's good, people are less likely to go review that. But if you watch something and it's bad, you don't like it, you're more likely to get on your keyboard warrior and go, worst episode ever. What happened to Rick and Morty? It used to be really good. 300 people have worked 3 years on this episode, and just because you didn't like a few jokes and a plot line in it, it's like 2 stars. What's this bullshit? But in the next episode's really good, and they're like, it was all right, but it's not as good as season 2. Like, just enjoy it. Like, get over it.
The meaning of, I guess, being satisfied. Being satisfied means you no longer need to take any action because you're satisfied. So if you're not satisfied, I guess you need to take action to feel better, and that is dumb.
Yeah. It's the same with YouTube comments. I said it before. Like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Watch something else. Move on quickly. Yeah.
I sort of get if it's a controversial topic like politics or COVID or abortions, whatever, and you're on there on your YouTube video, I'm for abortions, but I'm against giving women a choice. Whatever you're saying on the YouTube video, that's my side YouTube channel. Check it out. And, if fair enough, like, you get on there and you're commenting about it. But if it's a music video clip, imagine watching a YouTube music video clip and going, this is the worst song crap ever. Like, if you don't like it, just don't listen to it. Like,
someone expressing art or something like that is just, move on. But but if it's some huge problem that needs to be addressed or something like that, go to town.
Yeah.
Save your energy for that.
But anyway, COVID, mate, that's a hot topic, I'm sure. I never want to talk about too much of COVID on here. Like, I don't mind getting into it, but I always feel like, I don't know, I want to try and give people a break from it, but then we get died down into COVID, because I honestly don't remember, what did we talk about before COVID? What were we talking about 2019 that was so important?
I can't remember. I'm sure it was not important, though. I'm sure it was something dumb. Bloody,
did you see Cheryl's bins the other day? Left him out for 2 days.
One was
getting on the local bloody page now. It's the same with toilet paper, right?
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Like,
have you got enough to roll, mate?
Not one person I have heard is not upset about the toilet paper situation. Everyone's like, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't, why do you need toilet paper? Yep. I hear this conversation 1,000 times a day. It gives me the shits. And this is the last thing I'm going to say on it. But if everyone's pissed off about the toilet paper situation, who the fuck is buying it then? Like, every single person is coming to me saying there's no toilet paper. What are you doing in the aisle? If you don't need it, why are you there?
Exactly.
Yeah? And then, like, people aren't just buying it. Like, there isn't this group of people that are hoarding toilet paper and there's a group of people that aren't, because you're complaining about it, which means you're probably there trying to find it.
So that reminds me of two things. It used to happen back in the day before we had these lockdowns with public holidays. You know, Coles is closed 2 days a year, right? Like Christmas and Boxing Day. They're open almost 24/7. They're open from like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Friday, whatever, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. And if there's a public holiday, the day before the public holiday, everyone's rushing and getting in there, which is fine, which is okay. But if you're I used to hear this all the time. If you're standing there in the shop the day before a public holiday and you go, oh, it's only closed for 1 day. I don't know what everyone's doing here. You're here. You are doing that too. You are part of the problem. It's like before the lockdown in Brisbane, when they announced the lockdown, like, all right, we're going in lockdown 5 p.m. today. The shops are full in an hour. And look, that's fine. I get it. Like we went through that first period where we ran out of rice, we ran out of the stuff, whatever. It's not like we're going to starve. There's so much food everywhere. I get the worriedness, I get the unknown. But if you have the audacity to stand there at Aldi's in line with everyone else and go, oh, we're going into lockdown. I don't know why everyone's here. You can still go shopping. You're shopping.
Yeah.
You are part of the problem. Like, they just don't see it. They're complaining about other people being at the shop. You're at the shop.
The shop.
Get over it, mate.
Yeah. Makes 0 cents. 0 cents to me.
I think with toilet paper, though, somebody said it before. I can't remember where I heard it. They said, I think originally with toilet paper, it was one of those items where it's so big that there's not that much in stock at your local Coles or local Woolies, because a big, it's half an aisle, which looks like a lot, but big packs of toilet paper, there's only like 40 things. So when people started freaking out and then people were buying toilet paper and then it got lower, it looked like we were going to run out of toilet paper. So it gave the idea, like when you see half an aisle empty, oh my God, there's no toilet paper. I think that's what triggered, anxiety and worriness in people, which is fine. Like, people are only human, but we know that now. Like, I'm sure everyone has 400 rolls of toot roll in their bloody bathroom. You'll be right.
Yeah. I don't think some people have learned, though. Like, there's people still freaking out about stock levels, and it's just give them a chance to restock. And two, you're here hoarding it too. Like, who is hoarding it? If everyone's complaining about the situation, who is hoarding it? Other than that, or it's a great stitch up from Woolies, Coles and Aldi, just sitting out the back and not stocking the toilet paper. Going, watch this, watch everyone lose their shit,
selling it on the brown market. At the back,
I need a favour. Can you ask me what the highlight of my week was?
Welcome back to the Slinkies podcast with Howie and Al. Howie, what was the highlight of your week?
Catching piss from my 3-month-old.
3-month-old.
Yeah, 3-month-old. 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 Yeah.
How many days is that? How many weeks is that?
Know, 13 weeks and something else.
Did you catch it in the nappy or on your shirt?
You had to catch it with a cup. So we had to get some tests done, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is This isn't a sport, or because we're bored in lockdown. And we're just like, hey, what if we just catch some piss? No, not like that at all. We had to get some tests done, and they just gave us a cup, no instructions at all. There's like, can you just get a sample? Yep. And then you get home and you're like, wait, what?
What?
How did this happen? So hours. It took hours of feeding, putting ice cold water on her, holding her while she's screaming her head off, tears running down her face, and I'm standing there. And then guess what happened?
She peed and you didn't get it?
I looked away for 1 second to double check the instructions to make sure we were doing it right, and I just got shot by this fire hose. and missed it. And then we tried hours again to try and get more. So it turned up, and they're just like, "Oh, did you get the urine sample?" I'm like, shaking as I'm giving them the cup. Yep.
PTSD.
Like, oh, there's not a lot there. I'm still shaking. Because I just got some dribble that was left over once I got hit.
Really hard, mate. Yeah.
It was, here, take your fucking cup,
Yeah. Because they don't pee that often when they're that age, every few hours sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, especially being a girl too, trying to pee in a cup.
And they needed it a few hours before the appointment too. So that's like so we had one shot at it.
That reminds me, thank you so much for our sponsor last week. Speaking of peeing into cups, I would like to give a shout out to our next sponsor. So please check them out.
Papa, why aren't there any more fishies left?
Well, I'm just an old sea dog. But it never used to be like this.
Why is there so much plastic?
That damn plastic ruined everything down yonder and Rhonda.
Do you really want this to be your grandchildren's future? Plastic waste in the ocean is a serious problem, as fish and other sea creatures tend to not enjoy it. Luckily, we at 2G1C have come up with a patent-pending invention aimed to cut down on plastic wastage. You heard right, saving plastic. 2G1C scientists have developed a large drinking vessel capable of satisfying up to 2 women at the same time. That's right, 2 girls, 1 cup. 2 girls, 1 cup can hold up to 1 litre of various liquid, from runny liquid, solid liquid, semi-solid liquid, and much more. For only 7 easy payments of $42.99, you can get yourself a 2 girls 1 cup today. Just call 1300 2G 1C or search 2 girls 1 cup on Google today, and we can help cut down on plastic together.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Howie, feeling a bit down, you're in lockdown, you're trying to catch pee in the cups, you're trying to raise a little girl, you're trying to run a business that's forcibly closed at the moment, gyms, whatever. I thought I would look up some motivational quotes for you, mate.
Here we go.
Don't ask me why I was looking these up the other day. Actually, it was my cousin's birthday and I wanted to find a stupid quote to put on there. Have you ever just Googled motivational quotes? Motivational quotes?
Yeah. Not, I actually don't know why, but yeah, I have.
Let me read you some. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. You didn't come this far to only come this far. What does that even mean? You didn't come this far to only come this far. I like criticism. It makes me strong. Don't quit. Sometimes the things you are hoping for come at unexpected times. Who is reading this and going, yes, let's go. Yes, team. It's like I'm going to print some of these out and put it on my wall at home next to my live, laugh. What is it? Live, laugh,
yeah.
Love? Yeah, live, laugh, love poster on my wall.
Why does your house seem like a showroom?
Yeah. If you can dream it, you can do it. Well, you can't because you can't play that song on bass. We went through this.
And I can't get shot and turn into a mattress.
Yeah.
Falling down is an accident. Staying down is a choice. Your success and happiness lie in you.
Helen Keller. Thank you, Helen Keller. I'm sure you spoke that well. Far out. I can't stand motivational quotes.
Yeah.
Like, it just drives me insane. You'll notice them shared a lot on Facebook by the older generation and stuff. But I mean, look, if that quote gets you hard and gets you going in the morning, then I've got one thing to say to you. If you continue to think the way you always thought, you'll continue to get what you've always got. So I hope that motivated you. We're going to turn into a motivation podcast.
My business, I guess, relies on motivating people, but very rarely do I use some quotes that I get out of books, like I guess real stuff, like not so much like a motivational quote, but more like a sentence or something that, you know, resonates and makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like a big one I use: if you're not winning, you're learning. Like nice and simple as a sentence. Like but yeah, there's some good quotes out there, but there's a lot of dumb quotes too. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense.
A lot of dumb quotes. Send us in your dumbest motivation.
Most of the time, I just talk and make it up.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm your client, right? Calling you for the third time today.
Yeah.
The other 2 times were about what supplements I can take.
Yeah.
Right? I call you up. Oh, Howie, I'm feeling a bit down, mate. I'm not sure with these lockdowns and stuff. Can you just give me some words of wisdom?
I had one the other day very similar to that, and I just made it up on the spot. I said, look, there's 3 people in a race. There's the person that runs the race in 20 seconds and wins. There's the person that runs the race in 20 minutes and completes the race. Then there's the person that doesn't even get out of the car and put their shoes on. Who lost the race?
Did you make that up?
Who lost the race?
Far out, mate. You should be Tony
Mate,
Robbins.
I basically am Tony Robertson. And hit him in the feels. And then that person, for the last couple of weeks, has been super motivated because they were just not putting their shoes on. They had a fear of failure, but they weren't even competing. It's like, you're not really... Yeah, if you're not competing, you're not really failing. That was their mindset, but you are failing if you're not competing in the things that you want to... Like, if that race is the single thing you want to do and you're not putting your shoes on, you're failing.
Everybody listening now, hit up 1220 coaching. This is the motivation you'll get. Feeling down, feeling shit, get your shoes on, get to the race, call Howie up and get some online coaching, because that's some improvised motivational quotes that you'll be getting. 1220. This podcast is brought to you by 1220 Coaching. Yeah, when are you going to sponsor the podcast, mate? Come on.
Look, when it's the right price, you know, when we're getting enough listeners in, I want to see some listeners in Canada, Canada, some listeners in Ireland and Scotland and stuff, and then look, I'll start sponsoring.
What about Japan?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you remember we actually did Japanese for was it a year or 2 years at school?
I think it was a year.
I think it was 2 years. I think it was 2. But so at school we got to pick elective subjects, right? And slowly as you get further along in the years, you get to pick more and better ones, sort of thing. But I think it was one of the first electives did we pick?
It was part of that. Year 9 and 10, they give you like woodwork and a language, and then the next one you'll do history or something instead. But it's one of the classes where I remember. Look, we were shit at it, but it's one of the things where I remember a lot of it because I found it so funny, and how my brain works is if something's really funny, like it is just burnt into my memory. So when I'm like studying or something, I'll try and make a joke out of it to try and remember it. I don't know why. That's how my brain works. And Japanese, I remember so well because of your name. So my name, you know how they put son after everything? So my name is Dirin-san. Okay. Like they take out the Y. Yeah. Oh, no, the L. The L. Yeah. They take out the L.
Yeah, the L.
So Alex, your name was Erection.
Really?
Eric's son.
Eric's
So then
son.
we just kept calling you Erection. So childish, but so good. But now I remember to count to 10. I remember some other facts and stuff from it.
Yeah.
And I just remember so much of that class because of that.
What about full
rosiki? We asked the teacher how to say fully sick.
Hey, miss. We were like that. What's that show that Chris Lilly does?
Summer Heights High.
Yeah. Hey, miss, how do you say fully sick in Japanese? And she's just like, full rosicki, full rosicki, and just run around the playground going, I can speak Japanese, full rosicki erection.
There was actually kids in there trying to do well because we had that Japanese partnership program where we sent kids to Japan.
Oh, yeah.
We sent them there and they sent people to our school. And there's people there where their life depends on learning this language so that they can do stuff when they get over there. And you and I are just asking for stuff in Japanese. That's what we were talking about pre-COVID. We were talking about how to say fully sick in Japanese.
Oh, yeah.
Furosiki.
Important stuff. I wish, because we weren't allowed to learn like swear words and stuff. And that was sort of a time before we just had our phones that we could just Google it. Like if we were learning Japanese now when we were at school, I would just Google how to say penis.
Yeah.
You know,
I would just have Google Translate.
Oh, do you remember? Yeah, we had so we had the one Chinese kid, William Weezer. Yeah, shout out to Weezer, and he had one of these translating. It was like it was a device that just translated. So he could type in his characters and it would translate to English.
Yep.
Looks like a kid's toy nowadays, but back then
it was like a giant pager kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And he would type in pussy in Chinese, and it would come up as small cat. And he would say to Robbo, shout out to Robbo, handball champ, and he would type in, Robbo, you have small cat. He would laugh so much. It was so funny. The only reason you need to learn another language as a kid is to say funny shit like that. You don't need to know where the toilets are, how to order a drink. You just need to tell your mate he's got a small cat.
Yeah. Imagine. I can see like some of the students that we sent from our school to Japan. I could see they were in an awkward situation or someone did something cool and they're like, oh, furoshiki, and then they've gone, wah!
Yeah.
Thank God for those guys.
Thank you, erection. Thank God for erection. You know we're going to get a Japanese listener and he's like, this is all wrong. What are you talking about?
Blame the teacher. But can we change it to the Dear Son and Erection podcast?
Yeah. I'm going to write it in Japanese letters so we can get some Japanese listeners.
That's good. Good.
So, Howie, also, I've been a bit bored, mate, and I'm trying to get back into video games because I used to be, okay. So I used to be, I still am. It's sort of weird nowadays to say you're a nerd, right? And this has been talked about before, but basically back in the day when you're a nerd, it wasn't cool. Like this is before Marvel movies, right? This is before anything come out. I used to read comic books. I played video games. I was a proper old school nerd. And nowadays, if you say, oh, I'm a nerd, I watched fucking Captain Marvel and stuff. It's just not the same. But shout out to the OG nerds. Anyway, I'm trying to get back into video games, but now I'm old, like, I just can't find a good video game that like catches me like back in the day. Like back in the day on my PSP, I had Disgaea, and I got 1,000 hours on that game. 1,000 hours. Like it counted how many hours you played. I got 1,000 hours.
That's a
game.
lot.
I used to play it because it's like a turn-based RPG. I could play it without looking at the screen. Like there were certain levels I could just sit on the couch, watch TV, and play this game. Right? I was so addicted to it. But I'm trying to find new games now because I sort of want a PS5. I want the new Steam Deck. Everything looks so good, but I can never get into a game. And I was looking at on my Steam page, my recommended for you, and Steam must know that I'm a dad because it suggested mower simulation. Lawn mowing simulation. I swear to God, this is a game. Google it. Lawn mowing simulation. You just mow virtual lawns.
Finish mowing the lawn and then go play a game of mowing the lawn.
It's not cheap either.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like $25, $30.
Oh wow.
for this game.
Yeah.
I'm looking now. It has 432 reviews. It's only 3.3 stars. But like, what do? You mow the lawn, and it's like you get experience points, and you can upgrade your mower. You talk to other dads about mowing the lawn. Oh, what do you got? Oh, I got Sir Walter, mate. Oh, fuck yeah, Sir Walter, mate. Oh, I've only got, I don't even know another brand of grass.
Cooch.
Lawn mowing simulator. It's insane. There's so, because I knew that there was like this train simulator game. Train simulation. Train rider. I think it's just called Train Simulator. You just drive the train. You get in the train. I've never played it, but I'm just looking at it. You just get in the train. You know how exciting driving a train is? It's a single track. It just goes forward and back. Like, it's not like you're stopping off at cool, like, oh, the next train stop is Mount Druid. And you get out and someone's like in a fight. The next stop is Bin Lee and someone's like doing heroin on the bench. You're just driving the train. It's insane.
Yeah, I think there's a farming one as well where that seems to be a big one. I've heard a lot of people talk about farming where you just farm. Like you drive tractors and you do farm work and like it's incredible.
I sort of get that if like you can build a crop, you grow the crop and you harvest it. I sort of get the reward in that, you know, you can put some effort in, you can watch your virtual wheat grow. Unless you can build poppy seeds in that farming game and you're in Afghanistan, then that's got to be not my sort of game. But like, imagine that. There should be other simulation games. I'm going to Google other simulation games later. But I'd love like a surgery simulator. I bet you that's probably been invented. Yeah. I'm sure there's a simulation game for it. Imagine surgery simulator.
I think they have that for doctors before they do surgery. They go through like a simulation. It's like a 3D game of it.
That's awesome. Imagine like you're practicing vasectomies. And like it's like VR, and you're like holding up the tubes with the tubes. Do guys have tubes, or is that women? Okay, Karen's come in for a tube tied, and you're in your VR goggles, and you're playing with the tubes, and you're trying to tie them, and you put them in a knot and do a bow. And then the real doctor comes in and goes, "It's just called tying the tubes. We don't actually tie her tubes around, mate. You have failed level 2."
Level 2. Why is that the second level?
Level 1 was the examination.
Why wouldn't like stitches be level 2 or something?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I don't know how many levels there are.
Yeah.
Simulation. There should be a podcast simulator.
People are writing in The Sims. I've got a friend who's back into The Sims, and she's pumping it out. The Sims.
Yeah. I liked Sims. I got it, but I was never fully into Sims. Like I liked it, but what annoyed me is like you couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have a kid, you put the person in the pool, you take out the ladder, you watch them drown. What else do you do?
Jesus Christ.
You did that, right?
I never really got into The Sims, but I was happy for people that did get into The Sims because it made them happy, and that was fine by me. I was more of a FIFA, Batman kind of person. Yeah. Spider-Man games, bit of Fifth.
I'm trying to find a new video game besides mowing the lawn. So there's a thing called the Steam Deck that they're bringing out, which is like it's like the Nintendo Switch. But it's like plays all your Steam games. But I'm not sure if it's coming out in Australia. But I'm looking at that, and I really want to get that to play all my hundreds of Steam games that I've never played. I
really want Guitar Hero, but it's so expensive for PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah.
But I want to get it for next time you visit, because we always have a good time with Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
I
love Guitar Hero.
Speaking of feeling old, do you know it's been some ridiculous amount of time since the first Harry Potter come out?
Really?
There's doing like this year's like a big I don't know, the movies is redoing the Harry Potter stuff. There's like all this I can't even think of the word, but
Well, I think because they just put it on Netflix. So my daughter, she's right into Harry Potter. So the first 2 or 3 are on the kids' Netflix. So she was just going through kids' Netflix when we were at a mate's house, and she watched the first one, and she's like, "Oh, I like Harry Potter." I was like, "Oh yeah, we can watch that sort of thing," because I watched them years ago, but I don't really remember them. Like I remember it was like, "Oh, okay, story." I didn't watch them when they first come out. Like I wasn't a big Harry Potter kid. but I watched them when I was an adult, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good story. Like, I liked it. It was good. Have you seen them?
Have I seen them, mate? I grew
Yeah.
up with them. I'm not.
Oh, see, you're a
I'm
Harry
a Harry
Potter
Potter
kid.
Mainly because my brother
So,
looks like Harry Potter.
Shout out to Josh. Do some more wizard work, mate. Anyway, so I have a lot of questions about Harry Potter. So we ended up watching them all because I wasn't quite sure because, like I said, the first 2 or 3 are on kids' Netflix and then the rest are on the adult one. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I should show these to her because she's only 7. But she loved them, even like the
So
darker
you did
ones.
show them.
Because every Harry...
like, oh.
Every Harry Potter, they get like darker and darker.
as
sort of
we
thing. That's done on purpose.
Yeah, so
right?
because we I think I was the same age as Harry Potter. So as they come out, like that 11 or 12 or whatever it was, and then as he became a teenager and things got darker, we were getting older and humor was getting darker and stuff like that as well. So it was really interesting.
Yeah, I did like that, but I have okay. So how come sometimes he can do spells without his wand? Sometimes he can do it like there was one where they started and he was like just making that lady turn real fat, like they were eating breakfast or dinner or whatever, and he hated her and he was like doing magic on her, but he didn't have his wand.
I think it's because the magic's inside them, but the wand channels it. So it gets out of control. It can get out of control without a wand. The wand, I think, helps them like a scope on a gun kind of thing. I think.
So okay, and so how come sometimes they have to say the name of the spell, but sometimes they don't?
I don't know.
And is it like a video game where they have mana, like magic power? Because sometimes they're like, oh, blah, 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 Legardium Leviosa, Acronis, and blah, 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 Audacity, whatever. And they're saying spell after spell after spell. And then other times they're like, Lingardium Leviosa, oh, I need to have a rest for a day because I've cast a fucking spell. Like, I don't get how sometimes they're like, magic, 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 magic. And then other times they're like, magic, I better have a rest. Like, the inconsistency drives me insane. Like, have some proper facts about it. That's insane. I don't get it. Like, do you have to say the spell name? Because when they're fighting, like in that last couple, spoilers, if you haven't seen Harry Potter, in the last ones where they're doing that big fight, like they're constantly like, and then like every fifth spell, they're like, Acronis or whatever they say, whatever. Boom, boom.
I think, I think it was more like to, again, like, if they really needed to focus or channel what the spell was. I think it was something like, but then but as they get better, as they become better wizards, and witches, they, can summon spells without having to say it because they're so good at it now.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess
some of the stuff
like
makes sense.
in the book. Yeah. Did you read the book?
No, I can't read.
If you have read Harry Potter, can you write in and tell me if they actually say the spell every time or not? But anyway, I liked Harry Potter. It was good. Like, I liked it. It was a good 15 hours. We watched it in like a week.
Harry Potter marathons are where it's at. It's such a good TV series. Oh, not TV. Well, it's such a good movie series because it's all connected, and I think that if your child's starting your child around that 7 to 12 or something like that, I guess is okay, and it sort of grows up with them, which I think is really cool. But they always released it like every December just before Christmas. So it was such a good.
Oh, really?
I just remember being at the movie theaters
to go watch. Yeah.
Remember the old movie theaters? He went up the stairs and stuff like that.
No, tell me more. You mean the drive-in?
Too far back. No, the Regent Cinema. Where we would line up and go up the stairs and up the other stairs. I remember
smell like popcorn.
I remember being lined up all the way like down the street, like out into the street, windy.
Wow.
Like super windy, storm coming, and we're waiting in line to get to Harry Potter. Like, we got there, but it was rough. It was a rough hour outside.
Wow.
But
yeah, it would have been full
worth
too.
it, though.
Yeah, I do miss going to the movies. When was the last time you actually went to the movies?
Oh, actually, Wasn't that long ago to see Fast and Furious, which was a bit ridiculous. But before that, it'd been ages.
Yeah. So my daughter's really into Harry Potter. Like I brought her the little wand from Big Dub, the plastic one. She loves it. But she's so funny. Like she doesn't know. Well, I don't even know the name of the spells. But Wingardium Leviosa. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Whatever they say. There's and she keeps calling. What were those things? The demon things, Dementors or something. Dementors. Well, she got her wires crossed in her head, and she's sitting on the couch with her wand, and she's practicing her spells, and she goes, "La da da da, Dementia." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Dementia. You know the Harry Potter spell." And I went, "Oh, that's so good." Like, imagine if they actually had spells that were like real diseases. Imagine they're just like sitting there and they're like, "Quick, Granny's about to spend our inheritance on another cruise ship. Dementia."
If she... Oh, Jesus. I can't wait till she's older.
Dementia. But it's like, yeah, imagine if they like got actual diseases and stuff, not just, I don't know, a curse or makes you levitate or gets water. It's like scoliosis. That's where the real magic's at.
Magic at. Do you reckon...
That's what I want to
Do you
see.
reckon Harry Potter would be the same in other countries? Like, if it was not filmed in England?
Yeah. The Australian Hazza Potter. Oi, Hazza, get a load of me new wand, mate.
It's just not Voldemort. He's just getting chased by docs or something like that. He's just trying to stay in and out of court all the time.
going down to Centrelink. Or like Germany or something. Like imagine like a German Harry Potter. I don't even really want to do the accent, but it reminded me a bit of like the there was a bit of war elements, like, you know, they were talking about segregation and stuff where like the bad the bad people came in and took over Hogwarts, and I think that was sort of hinting at that sort of segregation for Germans. So imagine the secret chambers of Germany. It's actually just Auschwitz. And they're getting on. Well, they use a train, right? They're using a train to get to Hogwarts. The Germans were the fans of a train. We're not going to Hogwarts this year, kids. Auschwitz, what is that? That's the other thing. Why did they have to take a train to get to this school? Aren't they wizards? Can't they just... Like, sometimes they could teleport places and sometimes they couldn't. I didn't understand that. So why did they have to take a train to this school?
I don't know. I think no, that they did explain that it was you had to be a certain year before you were allowed to use that magic. So once they got
so it's only the kids.
So the kids because the seniors I don't think are on the train. The seniors
okay.
the seniors could just pop in, pop out whenever they wanted to. You weren't allowed to use that magic before.
Right.
Yeah, it was forbidden. El Forbido.
I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense.
Maybe you need to watch it again.
I don't know. I liked it. Yeah, I will. I was sort of, half watching it in the background most of it. It was all right. It was good.
Dementia. If she was older and understood what she did, you could have been like, "Who are you? Where am I?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Where are my keys?
Papa, I'm right here. Who are you? Get out!"
Have I got a daughter?
And then just that night, just dish out dinner for everyone else but her. She's like, "Where's my dinner?" It's like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I forgot who you are.
Oh, bloody hell. But
I did enjoy Harry Potter, though. I'll have to rewatch it.
It was good. And there was kind of that, are you Harry Potter or are you Lord of the Rings?
Okay,
I got into Lord of the Rings when I was a bit older, but I didn't really understand it when I was younger. Whereas Harry Potter, I more understood.
Yeah, I seen they put Lord of the Rings on there. I'll probably watch that sometime as well. But they're long as well. Just trying to commit time to watching a long movie. It's hard when you got to catch piss and raise kids, mate.
Catch piss and raise kids.
There's a motivational quote for you. Catch piss, raise kids.
Very good. Have you heard we got some 5-star reviews?
I seen that, mate. We actually got some 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, mate. I can't believe it. Thank you so much to anyone that's actually listening and actually makes it this far to the podcast.
It's amazing that people listen to what we have to say. It's amazing. But
yeah, if you could subscribe on YouTube as well. We can't get a custom URL until we get 100 subscribers. So that would, if we could just get 100, I'd be happy. So I could change the URL.
Yeah, that'd be good. We got our very first review as well. Like, so we got ratings. I think we got 6 ratings, but we got our first review. You want to hear it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm not sure who it's by, but we got 5 stars, and they've said the comedic pairing of Howie and Al is an absolute must listen for anyone that ponders the deeper meaning of life. Sit back and relax as the boys walk you through their outlook on lives and let your worries and anxiety melt away. However, you're probably too stupid to understand the complexity of humour that underpin this podcast. Whoa.
Wow. No name.
No, we got Madden Lols.
Madam Lols.
Lols. Yeah.
Madden.
I don't know who that is, but how good is that?
Oh, that is. If you can top that review, we'll read it.
Thank you to whoever wrote that review. Like, it's it means a lot. This is a little fun time that we have.
Yeah, I wish Harry Potter could cast a 5-star review
Yeah,
spell.
or just give us a URL. It's What would it be? What would the spell be? Earl. Is that
Earl.
custom URL?
Nice, very good. All right, thank you so much for listening, guys. It really means a lot to us. Just had some fun there. I'm off to the doctor to get some tongue ties cut, some tongues
Get some
cut,
tongues untied.
and
Is it?
tongues untied.
Yeah.
I guess I should have been practicing on my simulator game. How to cut that off. And so step back, Doc. I've got this, mate. I'm level 4 on Doctor Simulator. Level 4's cutting tongues.
Gotcha. Step aside. You're doing it wrong.
And shout out to our sponsors. It really means a lot when you support them. So check them out. And thanks for listening. So as always,
Never try to fix your mate's Slinky.